All right, Kripp's take on PoE 2, PoE 2. What's it going to be? Let's think here. I'm Kripp. I mean, there's no way he's going to say the game's bad, right? What's his take going to be? Like, PoE 2's good, and it looks good, and he's excited to play it. I mean, that's all we can say. What else can he do? Let's see what he says.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparian here. Today I have a Path of Exile 2 video for you guys. Now, this one has been pretty anticipated by some of you. I have heard you. I have listened to the many comments asking for my opinion, my take, how excited I am about PoE 2 finally being playable, and it will be playable on December 6th in early access. And I will be playing December 6th, or as early as the servers are stable. It looks like there will be quite a lot of people trying to play on that day, and understandably, it does seem to be like a pretty good game from some pretty amazing developers. So what's going on? Well, they had their big announcement. They had like a stream. I watched it as it was live. I did a little bit of a react. I wasn't quite as animated. You know, the people that are basically main gaming Path of Exile 1, you know, they've been in kind of like a content drought lately. So, you know, for them, it is the craziest thing. Every little bit about the game.
Wait. Crap. Content drought? Does he heard about Magicraft, bro? Does he not know about the Bazaar? Does he not know? He's been playing the Bazaar only, bro. Wait, and Hearthstone. What does that even mean, bro? Wait, I'm confused. The content drought. Wait, I don't think it's got anything to do with the content drought. I think it's everything to do with the fact that we're excited about Path of Exile 2. Okay, all right. I mean, hey, I like reacting. I enjoy watching videos. It's one of my favorite things. Do you know what I was doing before I started the stream this morning? I was watching a video about H Bomber guy. And what happened to the people after he made his video on plagiarism. Okay, it was a good video. Well, it's actually a mid video. Basically, he just rehashed the original video, showed a little bit of the aftermath. But whatever, I just watched a video. Like, I like watching videos. I'm a video enjoyer. Very enjoyable. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
I have also been looking at a lot of the podcasts that they've done. They've done a lot of Q&A. Jonathan and some of the other devs have been really busy trying to talk about the game and tell people about it. So hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of insight. A lot of what I have heard from the devs is that a lot of the questions that they answer in these Q&As, these podcasts that they participate in, pretty much everything that you imagine that you might want out of Path of Exile 2 will be there, but it seems like a lot of stuff will be added as the early access stage of the game is underway and afterwards. So we don't actually know what kind of game in its completion we will get on December 6th. The last time I played Path of Exile 2 was at ExileCon, which was about a year and a half ago. They were very nice to invite me once again. Flew out to New Zealand with Anya. We had an amazing time. It was really awesome. They got me to open up for them on their show. So it was really cool, but I have heard that the game has changed quite a bit.
But I was there, and I literally was chilling with Kripp and Rania, bro. I was talking to, dude, I was there. What was I doing? I was telling Kripp he needs to breed. That's what it was. I was trying to get him to breed with Rania. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I remember that. I was there.
Then several times over, in fact, so I don't actually know what to expect. I don't really go like super crazy hype mode on something unless I've actually played it, unless I actually know what it's going to be like.
It's making it sound bad. No, okay, no, you're making it sound bad. No, what I'm saying is that I was saying like, you know, kids are cool, bro, you know? Like, I was trying to sell them on kids. That's what I was trying to, okay?
Super crazy hyped about the Bazaar, and still am, because I was playing it. I had played it literally days before I told you guys some of the news about it in Family and Friends and closed access for Bazaar in that case. In PoE, I haven't. I know they've had some kind of alpha super NDA stuff. I mean, I'm not under an NDA, so I'll just tell you I wasn't part of that. I don't know what it was like. I don't know what the game is.
I really hope it's super, ultra, mega, giga, turbo, ultra tight. And I pray to Jesus, okay, even though it doesn't exist, I pray to Jesus that it's like friends and family only. Because it would suck so much dick if it turns out it's like the D4 thing where... Or it turns out like fucking 40% of all content creators have been like just playing PoE2 relentlessly for like the last fucking however many months. and then everything. That would just be so awful. That'd be so awful.
Exactly like. To be fair to them, they actually have invited me on several occasions to some of their events to check out and playtest some of the content, and it's just been like really unlucky
Bad timing.
every
Yep.
single time this has happened. Like the last time they invited me for an event, it was our 10th wedding anniversary. So yeah, we had already made plans, and
Bro, do you and winning anniversary in Anaheim or whatever, bro? Just do it. What the hell? Oh my god.
we were not going to cancel them for PoE 2 playtest.
Kripp is like how do I describe it? Kripp is not casual. Kripp is he does streams from like his caravan and shit. Like it's really cool. No, not the word I'm looking for. No, Kripp is not casual. No, Kripp is it's kind of badass. It's badass how much fucks he doesn't give when it comes to streaming, and like he'll just play the Bazaar every day, bro, or Hearthstone or some shit every day, you know, and like he'll just do it from he just sets that shit up on the laptop and plays it from his caravan or whatever, you know, he just sets it up from his fucking laptop and plays it from his fucking caravan. That's cool. I like that. Not the word stoic. It's like nonchalant. Nah, it's it's similar energy to Forsen actually, like similar energy to Forsen. But different because his content's far more like structured and scheduled, but in the same time he kind of doesn't give a fuck, right? Which is cool. That's badass. I like that. That's a really cool attribute. Yeah.
I very much wanted to go and do just that. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't.
And so I guess what I'm saying is because he doesn't give a fuck, you'd think that he would just not give a fuck and just go to the fucking event and just stream fucking Bazaar from his laptop or whatever. And do the winning anniversary there. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Have hands-on on the game. I don't know exactly how amazing it will be on day 0 of early access. I think it's pretty fair that most people should have the same expectation. But I also want to back that up with the people that are making Path of Exile 2 are largely the people that have made Path of Exile 1. Jonathan and Mark are two people that are pretty front and center talking about the game and presenting it as they did in their announcement. And these are two devs that are pretty much there from the beginning in Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 1, probably from a developer standpoint, is maybe the most impressive game that I have ever seen in my life. So, I don't know if they'll get everything right on day 0 of early access, but I am sure that Path of Exile 2, however long it takes, will be probably the best game you will play for a good while to come.
I think it'll be like the best game we play in the next. My prediction is like 5 years. That Kripp is like
10 plus.
I would say 5. Nah. I think we're going through a technology revolution. The thing is, if PoE can scale with that technology revolution, who knows? I think it will. If they embrace the tools and they allow themselves to pop off with it, I do think that I think there is a game coming in our lifetime, Chad, that's going to change all games, and it's going to be the ultimate game, which is basically going to be a second reality. It's going to be like a second reality, like it's some sort of gaming universe where every game is in the game. I think that's gonna, whatever. You can think that. You can think like, oh my. I think it's gonna be like WoW back in the day, except the most immersive experience you've ever had, to the point where people are gonna get so addicted to it they're gonna die. I do think that's coming in our lifetime, if we don't blow ourselves up in a war or something.
And that, of course, is exciting. And you might be asking, hey, Kripp, are you just going to play Path of Exile 2 all day, every day from now on?
Yeah, do it.
The answer is, sadly, probably not. I will be playing quite a lot when it becomes playable in early access, but honestly, I just don't know if it's a good idea for me to stress my arm specifically quite to that degree. I have been playing Path of Exile.
Do you know what? That's relatable, bro. Wait, what the hell? I'm worried about the subathon on my hips. Like right now, my hips are constantly painful. My hips are painful yesterday. I've been doing Pilates yesterday. I'm constantly, if you notice, I'm constantly standing up, sitting down, changing device, putting a thing on doing all sorts of weird shit. It's the same thing, bro. I'm actually worried. That's my biggest worry about the subathon, is that are my hips going to survive it? I'm going to have to have the treadmill out, and I'm going to have to use the treadmill and all sorts. I do wonder if I've got arthritis or something. I genuinely do, yeah. So, yeah, that's really. I mean, that sucks for him though. That sucks. That sucks for his hand. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Every single season for almost a decade now. I love making new builds. I love trying something new every time they have a new season, tackling the mechanic, and I play the hell out of a Path of Exile 1 league.
Couldn't he wait? I don't know. Couldn't he get like some sort of? Couldn't he play like a minion build? Couldn't he play like a minion build and then use like an ergonomic controller? Yeah. Like use it, maybe even game on a console, like game on a controller. He could do inventory management with his mouse and just game on a controller. I mean, that sucks for him. I feel sorry for him. You know,
it's like a couple of weeks.
He wants to OP2, but he can't.
Like a month. And lately, I've tried to kind of pace myself because I know a lot of you guys don't watch religiously, you don't know the in and outs of my life, but like 5 years or so ago, I had an onset of cubital tunnel, which is effectively, it was nerve damage from the ulnar nerve, which is kind of the underside of the arm. And it was pretty substantial. For a few years, in fact, it was very difficult for me to even like hold a mouse properly. And early in the onset of it, I was just like dropping objects I had in my hand. It's kind of a bizarre feeling.
That's crazy.
Kind of lose the control of your body that you've had, and especially for a piece of it that you've so finely tuned over decades to use.
That's like your main bet, bro. That's like awful. Just imagine that your hand could stop working. It's fucking scary, bro. That's scary, bro. Like, that's crazy. As a gamer, that's like worse than being, well, actually, no. Blind? No, I think I'd still rather not be blind. Yeah, no. It's pretty bad, though. I think outside of going deaf or blind, your hand is the probably most important thing you wouldn't want to lose, right? It'd be like tier 3 worst thing to happen as a gamer. I would rather have if I had to choose between my nuts and my hand, I would choose my hand. I would literally fucking cut my dick off, bro, I think. Like a straight up. Your hand is more important. Like, okay, well, if it's either, okay, you can either choose both your hands, but you have to have your dick and your balls cut off, or no hands and you get your dick and your balls cut off. No hands and then wait, you gotta choose. What would you rather have? Okay, you gotta choose your hands or your dick and your balls. No hands, 100%. Can I get no hands? Everyone say no hands. Take my dick. I mean, it's just stupid theoretical, though. Why would you ever choose this? What I'm saying is it's really bad, though, right? Our hands are very, 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 very important. And especially important to a gamer.
Mouse, for example. So I took a lot of measures. You know, I went through the whole, doctors and rehab, that kind of stuff.
I'm scared.
And ultimately, I did have some, so far, temporary, hopefully, possibly permanent nerve damage. I did actually have the nerve. It's kind of the nerve that it's like your funny bone. If you hit it, you feel the funniness.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah. So they basically had to take that and they moved it on this part of the arm. So I've already had the surgery. And post-surgery, I've actually been a lot better overall. I rarely have a lot of the symptoms that I had on a regular basis. But it's one of those things where, on one hand, I don't know if I would have an interest in playing Path of Exile 2 for every single day of my life moving forward. Just to be honest with you guys. PoE 1 is a fantastic season.
Wait, you can play Hearthstone every single day of your life. Then you can play PoE 2 every single day of your life. I mean, no one's saying you need to do that, though. I feel like go big dick till you don't want to go big dick anymore, right? And then just stop playing. It would just, I feel like there's Whoa. He played Bizarre. What about his then? Wait, what do you mean? I think controller is a key. I think if he's limiting his playtime because of some physical injury, maybe there's a way you could solve it mechanically, right? And like have like 3 different controllers he switches between. So you go from like keyboard mouse to controller to some alternative ergonomic controller, then back to keyboard mouse, and just keep rotating and just play builds that aren't like repetitive. Play builds that are very dynamic and have lots of different variations of combos.
I imagine they're going to try to hit the same points in PoE 2. Might play a lot at the start, but
True, Neuralink,
eventually
bro.
We'll go into the seasonal cycle of things as I play with Path of Exile 1. But yeah, like these days, I try to pace myself. If I do a PoE league, I try to, if I'm going to play all day every day, I try to limit that to about a week. And then, just a few hours a day, just to pace myself. I've noticed that I kind of know what to expect in terms of the limits of my body. And when it comes to my arm, it's not something that I really have a next stage to. Like, I've already had the arm surgery.
Getting a bionic arm.
So, if I screw up my arm again, well, we're going to have some real problems that I don't exactly want to deal with, because I love playing computer games and I would like to keep doing that.
I think computer interfaces are coming quite far now. There's dudes, a few of the guys are able to play lots of like little basic RTS kind of mobile-esque games. I feel like soon you're gonna have to get game. Well, they already exist, but they're not very consumer friendly. You can already buy little hats, and you can key bindings to your brain. And the way it works is, like, you'll think about like a box, and then that'll press a button. And you'll think about the box going up, it'll press a button. You think about a box going to the left. You basically record macros in your brain, and yeah, soon it's gonna be. You'll just think about using your ability, and you'll have to use your ability, just wearing a little hat.
So for attacking, I'm imagining pushing something heavy really forward. For healing, I'm imagining something falling on top of my face. I'm more like pulling it towards me. It takes hours of training
for however long I can.
Log out macro.
Back to the Path of Exile end of things. The best part about Path of Exile for me is coming up with a build, coming up with a really cool way that you can take on the game. And while I don't have a lot of specifics from Path of Exile 2, I at least want to give you guys a little bit of insight into build making and what I think might be a good choice for a class, because right now we
I don't get backseated,
have
Kripp.
a lot of information.
I don't get backseated.
Path of building.
Wait. What's he about to do? No, I don't like this. I'm going to watch it anyway.
Path of Exile 2, we effectively have
Let's listen to what's he going to say.
absolutely nothing. And
Nice.
that is kind of interesting. But they did
How
share
can he
a
possibly
few
speculate?
slides, a few pieces and crumbs of information in their announcements, and further.
Should I click
in some
off?
of the
I can click off. I don't think it doesn't matter. Like, whatever he says right now, it doesn't matter. What's he going to say? Like, Blood Witch HP stacking. I don't know, Titan with its totems and summoning fucking the monkeys. What do you get? Like slam build where weapon switches between two weapon sets. Let's just hear him what he's going to say.
podcasts that they've done. So I thought I would give
What are
you
they gonna
guys a little bit of insight there. So let's get to that. So this is part of their endgame content reveal, and I want to actually focus largely on the passive skill tree. It's a little bit different than the one that we have in Path of Exile 1, because basically all the classes kind of start from this center area, and this is like a monk, part of this slide. So he starts from there, and I'm guessing monk is like int dex, so this is probably the sork, and over here is probably the ranger, like the pure int, the pure dex. This is probably like what was formerly the duelist, now is the mercenary, I believe. I believe the mercenary will start here. Then we have the pure strength, and then like int strength. I think that's kind of how it's
Paladin. Let's go.
But it's a little bit different than in PoE 1, because in PoE 1, not only do they start in further distances away,
you can get there quite fast.
The passive skill tree itself works differently. The main thing is that there's no life nodes on the passive skill tree. So there's going to be nodes that you can improve your tankiness, but it's not going to be chasing life percent.
Dude, Mathil builds are all going to be way tankier than before now. I just realized that. Think about it. I already talked about this, how the difference between the tankiest build and the squishiest build is going to be far narrower now, so it means they can balance the game way more efficiently. But Mathil builds are going to be far tankier now, because he used to just skip life anyway, and now he just gets to skip life for free.
And while the number of nodes from going to one class starting area to another, I actually counted them, every single one, it's actually exactly the same as it is in Path of Exile 1. So while that is true, it looks like you have way more options to pick up stuff as you go along. And I think it's actually a little bit more convenient to go to another class, because you have kind of like these mid-highways that are far more limiting in the Path of Exile 1 skill tree. So what does that mean? What that means is that while you still start in different parts of the same passive tree in Path of Exile 2, I strongly believe that it will be far more accessible to reach otherwise distant areas of the passive skill tree when compared to Path of Exile 1. What does that actually mean? That actually means that you can play a
Whatever you
Sork
want.
and then go all the way down here to the complete opposite end of the passive tree and not actually come out with a crappy build. So that is very interesting because it opens up a lot more possibilities in build crafting, and they're already pretty complex passive skill tree.
Mate, I take the witch down to the fucking Warcry node all the way at Marauder, okay? Did that in PoE 1. Did that repeatedly. I would take fucking witches down to, what's that one called? The Additional Strike? All the way, bro. The travel tree. So many builds did that. You could do it in PoE 1. And it was good. They were good builds. They were good builds.
Keep in mind that with the weapon swap mechanic, you can actually have 2 versions of the passive skill tree, each one attributed to the weapon swap. So it's going to be lots of stuff here. When I actually have access to being able to make a build in their passive skill tree, that's when my hype's going to go to a 10, okay? I'll be honest with you guys. The best part about Path of Exile 1 for me is making the build. Playing the game is like a tiny bit below that, but making the build is just so awesome. I love doing it. I even try to make builds for like other people sometimes, like other streamers. I get involved in kind of the stuff that they're into to try to like help out. I just absolutely love it. I have no other way to say it. So when we get there, it's going to be really cool. Another thing that they have for us is actually the Ascendancies. So there's going to be a lot more Ascendancies.
He's not helping me. Kripp was not helping me. Kripp was not helping me. No, dude, I totally agree with him. I feel like creating a build and playing the game, 100p. They're both fundamental, amazing parts of the game, and if not the best part. No, I think it's the best part of the game. By far. And it's not even like a little bit. I think playing the game is cool, but that vibe of like discovering your setup and the build coming online and then encountering issues and then fixing those issues, like that's part of the build creation process. And then it clicking, bro, and you start owning. It does feel amazing. It feels amazing.
That
it does.
In fact,
it's a good
one
feeling.
specific class will have additional ascendancies other than those shown in this screenshot, but this is what they have given us in terms of information from their main launch livestream. Also, to keep in mind, we're only covering a few of the nodes for each ascendancy. And I also learned from the podcast that Jonathan did with Gazi and DM that it will be 4 major keystones in the ascendancies, 4 essentially levels of the ascendancy that you'll be able to obtain. So we only have a few examples here. You'll actually be able to have more skills than these on any class that you're playing in early access. So why are we going over these? Well, on one hand, it's kind of interesting, I guess, but on the other, I actually have a pretty possibly bold prediction that they're kind of bad if you compare them to Path of Exile 1. And I also learned this through that same podcast that Jonathan did, that generally their team is trying to be pretty conservative with scaling.
The trim and the fat, bro.
We're just straight up not going to get into the billions, let alone, what are we even at?
The trim of the fat.
Are we at quintillions in D4? I don't know.
Just stupid mates, bro.
So it might get really crazy in D4, especially with Spiritborn and all that. But in Path of Exile 2, it looks like things are pretty conservative. And I do want to tell you guys that...
That's because the other devs can't comprehend making any single unique item that doesn't just have a damage multiplier in it, because every single one of the items they design is just a damage multiplier. So then, literally... if it's not got a damage multi in it, it's just a bad item. So then every single item has it. So then they just stack like 500 multis, and guess what you have? It's exponential fucking ridiculous damage.
My opinion, the Ascendancy Keystones seem to be in line with that. Okay? Now, they're very flavorful. Sork has kind of like this time wizard, time freeze, time snap, temporal lift. I have a few examples on the live stream, very cool. And then this is kind of like the lightning specialist, elemental storm, shock chance. There might be a few other things because it looks like there's kind of like frost happening over there. So it might kind of be the elementalist equivalent in Path of Exile 2. Here we have the Jade guy.
Well, I don't think it's... I was thinking about this. Why would you even want this, right? Like, okay, this is cool and all. It's just like shocking conflux. There has to be something else. I'm calling it now, chat. There has to be something else that makes shock way more broken. It'll say like like shock stuns people, or shocked enemies explode based on the percentage of the shock, or shock has like infinite ramp, or shock. There'll be something here because I don't see why you want to go that hard into shock ever. There'll be like you could stun them with shock, or there'll be something else on top of this, because otherwise this doesn't really make that much sense. I mean, you can shock twice, but that's, whatever. That's just like, that's about doing fast attacks. It's a different archetype. This is about doing big dick shocks. Like, what do you want ultra big dick shocks for? Because you're gonna get pretty much cap shocks anyway. I mean, maybe in a build that doesn't, it's not like, the thing is, it will be. I'm calling it now. There'll be some insane synergy with this and some other node that they haven't announced yet. Calling it now. Because shock ain't ignite, little bro.
Happening over there, so it might kind of be the elementalist equivalent in Path of Exile 2. Here we have the Jade guy. So apparently you have like a Jade form that you can toggle by holding down the key, which is like a really snappy way to kind of like take damage and like resist it, kind of like Arctic Armor, or like Vol Arctic Armor works in PoE 1, so very cool with that.
If this is iframes, it's going to be completely broken. Completely. I may even roll this class. Like, if I get a button where I can just be immune to damage, and it's not even going to cooldown, bro, and you just kind of got like a little door. Dude. Oh. Do you know, if I could do this in like Soulsborne game, it'd be the most broken shit ever. It's so strong. Think about it. Oh, shit. Hand's coming down. It's going to hit me. Jade. Oh, shit. He's about to hit me with some Giga one-shot slam. Jade. Just keep doing that. Just Jade form it, bro. Don't, boom.
Have like the slam version.
Now, I'm saying it's not going to be immunity because I think it's going to be overpowered. But we don't know that. They implied it's like an immunity, but and chat thinks it's immunity. But I'm saying it's probably going to be like 90% DR, and then these other mechanics will just one-shot you. So 90% DR won't do anything. But we'll see.
Of the strength class.
We'll see.
These are the archers. So we have kind of like what would be the Deadeye equivalent in Path of Exile 2, and kind of to further the point that I made earlier, gain Tailwind on skill use, lose all Tailwind when hit. This is just like pretty similar to what Deadeye has in PoE 1, except it's just slightly worse. It's just a little bit worse.
Classic.
So that's what I'm talking about. It looks like they're actually quite conservative with the power that you obtain in these, and I am getting to a point with that, of course. And on the other side, we have the different concoctions and poisons. It's kind of like the Pathfinder, but it doesn't seem to have kind of the flask nodes as the Pathfinder does in PoE 1. But that's with good reason, because the flask system is entirely different. You're not going to have like the spamming 5 utility flasks all day long situation. Now going on, this is kind of like the Necromancer.
Do you know what? Actually, because they've deleted utility flasks, I'm far more likely to be like a Pathfinder, actually. And the double poison scaling is kind of nice. Yeah, do you know what? I actually kind of like it. I do kind of like it.
Now going on, this is kind of like the Necromancer area. The Occultist, I believe it's called. So you'll have Demon form. You'll have the Hellhound. This is kind of where you might want to be playing minions if you take it at face value with some of the nodes. You can like become the demon.
Dude. Melee Sanguimancy build, bro. Melee Blood Witch. That's a big one for me. There's a non-zero chance I league launch this. There's a non-zero chance I league launch this. There's a good
Very, very cool kind of conversion
live
style
stacking,
mechanics,
bro. Live stacking.
That are pretty, I guess, similar in some ways to a few mechanics possible in PoE 1. We also have the it's kind of like the leeching mechanic where you can manipulate energy shield, manipulate life. It's kind of like the blood mage, I think it's called. They have the monk, which is a very flashy class. If you've seen some of the demos.
Ravenous Doubts, mom.
We have kind of like the honorable monk, meditation and lightning and speed and crit. And then we have the you guys are screwing it up, the breach version, the void version of the monk.
Do you think this will be off meta? Because this does sound kind of fun. I wonder how many people are going to go this one. Like, how many people? How popular do you reckon monk's going to be? Because that just sounds fun defensively. Like Ravenous Doubts, Mom, and then just full Giga Melee, maybe some sort of chaos damage. I mean, it's interesting. Oh, solving defensive layers is a lot of fun. It's like fun. That's a cool defensive layer, though, right? like Mind of a Matter taking 100%, like, you know, protecting your life 100%, and then you got instant mana leech. So then you have like this life pool, which fucking you get like a, you know, it's like another life pool, and then you min max your mana as well as you min max your life at the same time. It'd be a fun defensive layer. You know what I'm saying? Predicting, bro, predicting.
Cool. I love to see things like these. Gain 1% damage against chaos per 20. Unreserved darkness. So very interesting. Very different play style to the other monk. Actually, the polar opposite, perhaps. We have the mercenaries. So this is a pretty interesting one. I think overall, from what I've seen in their trailers, the mercenary just looks like the coolest class. You can use like a crossbow, and this is kind of, I forget what they called it, but yeah, basically use a crossbow version of the mercenary, where you kind of just deal damage. And if you've seen some of
You don't need a big wait, what does he mean use a crossbow? Why can't you can play this whole guy as a melee, right? There's no reason why you have to use a crossbow. Unless he's got like an ammo trait, maybe he's gonna have something that scales with ammo skills specifically. Dude, that my light is flashing at me. I feel like you could just play this. I mean, dude, enemies exploding, culling strike with reverse cull as a melee. That's gonna be real strong. It's gonna be super strong.
The playthroughs, it basically plays like Rambo. So if you want to be Rambo in a proper ARPG, it looks like they got you covered, and I think that's super cool. And the second version,
Rambo.
I believe it's called a Gemling. So it has a lot of gem-based skills in its Ascendancy, and they're very, very cool. Gems work quite differently in Path of Exile 2, as you can have many more of them compared to Path of Exile 1, and you can basically just keep adding support links to them as you like upgrade the gem, is my understanding. Kind of like having a 6 link, but you can have way more different 6 links. You can have like tons and tons and tons of 6 links in PoE 2.
Dude, the claw build. This is for the claw, bro. So you've got all the extra keybinds. Boom, right? That's it, bro. That's it. The gemling's OP with the claw because you got all those extra keybinds. Think about it. What is going on, bro? What is going on? You understand every one of you guys who does this like attention-seeking thing gets marked, and then you get banned. And then next time, if I go to ban you and you've got the mark, then you just permit, right? You understand that, right?
If you're playing a class that's kind of like, let's say you're like, a warrior, you have a big stick and you slap people with the stick, it doesn't make that much sense to have like that many different skills. But if you're playing a lot of different trigger skills, perhaps some minions, perhaps it does make a lot of sense to have a whole lot of skills.
True.
So you have, like,
yeah, he's got a good point there, actually. I didn't think about that.
So
he could be a good minion build, right? You could have like very, very bunch of autistic minions linked up and ready to go that do all sorts of debuffs and have a lot of synergy with each other that you couldn't do with another character. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
What are my thoughts on this? I think that this is the coolest class overall, the Gemling. And I think that you should at least be mindful
note here,
that it will be a good idea to play one. And I think it's a good idea to play one because things that scale off of gems are just going to have a really huge scaler in the end. It'll probably take a lot of time until you have like all the different massively linked gems on a character, but it looks like you will really have a huge power level when you do have that. You get maximum resistance based on the
It's funny because this is like you'd think out of all the characters, this would be the opposite one you'd want to play if you had like a hand RSI. Because you're getting actively, like, it's like the one that gives you way more skills. I mean, just permit. Let's go. Where's this guy at? Oh, yeah, okay, permit. Alright, did it. Yeah.
gems.
This is like the opposite. You know, like, a guy gives you 3 more buttons you have to press. Well, I mean, you get 3 more passive buttons that you don't have to press. But still, you get passive buttons on another character. Right? You're more likely to be pressing more buttons on this character than any other character.
Anywhere, the attribute requirements of gems can be satisfied by highest attribute.
Quality of life,
you can basically attribute stack because on the new passive skill tree, you can choose what an attribute note gives you on the skill tree itself. So for example, if it's beneficial to just have as much strength as possible, you just select all your attribute nodes as strength, and then you can use int gear or dexterity gear. So, or dexterity gems. So it's very interesting. The flexibility is
Nice
just
quality of life.
huge. 3 additional skill slots is like ridiculous, and 12%.
I don't know how much I value that, right? And I think the only way of knowing how good this is by playing PoE 2. Because do you really need that many skills? Like, we've seen the previews. I mean, you clearly don't need that many skills, right? Because there's plenty of people who play a bunch of, like, every other gameplay video of all the other Ascendancies will pop it off. And they had tons of abilities on their bars. Like, more abilities than I feel like I would want. And they were doing fine. Maybe with a bunch of trigger abusing, though, or a bunch of minions or something, yeah, I agree. Like, I didn't think about the minion angle. That's a good angle by Kripp. I can see that. Like, if you have a bunch of minions that do different debuffs and things, you could have, like, more minions that do different things. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't look at that and think, man, I really can't wait to use 3 additional keybinds.
Quality gems, we have no idea, but I imagine it's pretty good.
Shit.
The reason why I think you should consider this Ascendancy is, again, if we go back to the passive skill tree, it seems like it's pretty easy to go into different areas of it compared to Path of Exile 1. And the Gemling seems to have just the option to play any build. It's kind of like what Pathfinder did to Path of Exile 1. You can just kind of do whatever, and you'll be really good at it. And I think starting out with crossbows and playing that mercenary playstyle is just going to hit me well in the field. So that's kind of my plan. It's a loose plan, but I think it's a good one. Because if someone figures out some really potent skill combination or something like that, most likely the Gemling will have a very good version of it.
Don't go to the meta build, bro. Don't go to the meta version of it, bro. Don't go to the meta. Don't go to the meta. What he's saying is a nice utilitarian class that can do whatever he wants, right? Which I respect. I definitely agree with him because I'm thinking about doing like the mage classes as melee. Like that's what I'm heavily looking at, is doing the mage classes as melee. So it'll be like starting here and just going down, and it does look like you can just do that, which is why I'm super DDF. And because of the way that, but we need to see the rest. I haven't locked anything in, and I can't lock anything in because, he's locking this in based on 4 out of 8, right? What if there's 4 other ones on another class that will just blow our minds and completely change everything? Boom. So I'm not locking until we see all the Ascendancy points. And I don't know. Are we going to find it? Maybe they're going to send us in blind. Maybe we're not going to see it. Are we going to find? Are they going to do an Ascendancy drop like a week before or a day before or something? I don't know.
It might not be the absolute.
I feel like I don't want necessarily the whole skill tree. I feel like keeping the skill tree blind would be cool, but showing us Ascendancies before the game comes out, like a day before, I think it's cool. I think that's fine. Am I crazy?
Best version of the build, but overall the Ascendancies seem to be a pretty low power level. And yes, we don't get all the different Ascendancies. We're missing information on many of the nodes, but think about it. Would they really highlight just like the crappiest nodes they had available?
Yeah.
No, it's much more.
Wait, what do you mean they highlighted stuff like Kong Strike and shit, bro? Like I don't know, it's not that impressive. There's plenty of nodes which were like just normal things. I think that's the case. Do you know what I believe? I think that maybe some Ascendancy nodes haven't even been developed yet, and they're still developing them.
Reasonable that there just are lower power level Ascendancy nodes compared to Path of Exile 1.
They're saving them, bro, for teasers. Kripp, they're saving them for teasers. They already had a bunch of info to dump. I think the most broken Ascendancy node hasn't even been announced yet. That's what I think.
They do want to be pretty conservative with scaling, so that absolutely is in line with that statement. So yes, I want to play a Gemling. I think it's going to be sweet. I think I'll be able to play effectively whatever type of build that I want, and I think it might even be the best class for huge amount of the builds on Path of Exile 2.
You can't. The Gemling, I think Gemling hinges on the thing that's either going to make or break a Gemling, in my opinion, is the gem qualities that are broken. Because if there's gem qualities that are broken, then that class is going to be broken. Right, let's be real. Ashes made so many abilities stupid. So many abilities, Ashes would just get the ability and just break it, right? It would push it over some threshold, which will let you get some infinite loop, which just breaks the game and doesn't get good damage. I reckon the Gemling is going to have a gem quality case, like maybe multiple, where he can abuse that, and that's going to break the game. And that's why Gemling's going to be OP. It would be my prediction. I don't think it's going to be the extra skill bullshit. I'm going to be honest.
Pretty exciting, especially with the customization. And it's pretty exciting because if I look at the other options for playing minions, actually it looks like Gemling might have the best one.
True.
3 additional skills for minions and more triggers. Well, that was always a problem in Path of Exile 1. In Path of Exile 2, it looks like the sky's the limit with this. So it is pretty exciting.
Bro, spoiler alert to Kripp. They ain't going to finish enough support gems to even support that many skills. And that node is going to be a dead Ascendancy point. Calling it now.
But until we get really into that deep
It's going to be a dead
build
Ascendancy point,
crafting,
bro.
my hype is still a little reserved.
What?
If you guys enjoyed watching the video, and we'll see you next
How is he reserving his hype? How are you reserving your hype, bro? Unreserve it. Unreserve the hype right now, Kripp. For real, for real. What the fuck are you doing? Dude. Chat, if you have not, bro. If you have not unreserved your hype at this point, then I don't know what to say. You're an idiot. Start a poll. What is this?
Because he is God Gamer.